Simplify. The parentheses, the first parenthesis, we've got 2/3 minus 5/6 in a parenthesis. And then we've got two parentheses jammed together, which is going to give us a negative 5/8 plus 1/4. Folks, that means we're going to multiply, and then we will simplify. So let's take a look at this problem. It's got basically two parts. First of all, we've got two little parentheses that we want to work with. This is one of those problems that looks a little messy, but in reality, it's two small problems glued together to make a big problem. And you know, when the big problem gets glued together and we got the two parts to the smaller parts, whoa, that sounds like a tongue twister. We will have an easy ending to the big show, all right? So let's take a look one piece at a time. Let's go to this left side over here, all right? We've got 2/3 minus 5/6. Now this is a good old my dear Aunt Sally with fractions, all right? Only this time we got a please excuse because we got parentheses and they say go there first, all right? So we're going to work inside the parentheses. This is a subtraction. Over here we have an addition. So we're going to watch out. And also, hey, those pesky negatives are popping up there, right there on 5/8. And this could be like a negative on the 5/6 also. So let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen. We have 2/3 minus 5/6. Sometimes we like to see those things written out more like that. They are in a parenthesis. We'll keep them there, all right? Over here, we have negative 5/8 plus our 1/4. Now remember what we got to do. We need common denominators. Then what we get will result with the multiplication and put them all together. So common denominator here, how about it? 3 and 6 go into 6 evenly. You always want to look and see, does this smaller number divide evenly into the bigger one? And that will save you a lot of work on common denominators. It certainly will keep it small, all right? So let's keep it at 6. I like that. Above we have 3. Oh, we've got to change that because 3 is not the same as 6, right? So we've got to change the 2. Let's see what we did. We multiplied 3 times 2 to get to 6, so we're going to do the same thing with the 2 on top. We'll put a 4 right in there. This one didn't change, so don't mess with it anywhere in the numerator either. The denominator stayed the same. Leave it alone. We'll get an answer off this in just a minute. Keep in mind, we are still in parentheses there. All right, now let's head along over to the other side. Got some fractions to add. Common denominator, the name of the game once again. And let's see what we've got going here. We've got a negative 5/8. I need to change here. I divide 4 into 8. It'll go 2 times, and I multiply it 2 and 1. That's going to give me 2/8. So now I'm getting somewhere. Honestly, I am, all right? Let's see what's happening. We've got 4 minus 5 in this parenthesis, which is going to give us a negative 1. 6 comes along for the ride. Remember that. We just bring the fractions along there. On the right side, let's see what's going to happen here. I've got a negative 5 and a positive 2, and that's going to give me a negative 3/8. All right, negative 3/8. Now at this point, we could do some work on this, but first of all, let's notice signs. Let's look at signs. We've got a negative times a negative. We know that's going to give us a positive, all right? We also have some action here on the fractions, a little bit of fraction action that we can work with, some little old cancellations right through there, all right? That's going to give me a 2, and it's going to give me a 1 there. And you know, things are looking pretty good because when I have 2 1s on the top, there's nowhere else I can go. I'm going to end up with 1, and that is going to be over 16. Again, the sign goes positive because a negative times a negative gives us a positive. So our final answer there simplifies. Oh boy, was it much simpler than what we started with, that's for sure. It simplifies down to 1 over 16. Great work with fractions. Good to do a little bit of addition, common denominators, and hey, do the multiplication rules at the end also.
For more math help, visit TNLearn.org.